Why is there a deafening silence from Muslim-majority countries on the Uyghur genocide? Let's take a moment to ponder this perplexing paradox. On the one hand, the Muslim world has been quick to denounce instances of Islamophobia in the West. They've raised their voices, they've expressed their outrage, they've called for justice. Yet, when it comes to China's attacks on Islam and Uyghur culture, silence prevails. We're talking about a horrific genocide here, happening right before our eyes. The Uyghur people, a Muslim minority in China, are being systematically oppressed, their culture eroded, their lives shattered. Over 8,450 mosques, places of worship and community, have been destroyed in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region alone. And yet, the reaction from Muslim-majority countries is nothing. A deafening silence. A chilling indifference. The silence of the Muslim world on this issue poses a critical question. Why? The Uyghur genocide isn't a baseless claim. There's concrete evidence. The Uyghur people, a predominantly Muslim ethnic group in China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, are facing a horrifying reality. Imagine the places where you've grown, prayed, and formed a community being systematically destroyed. This is the grim reality for the Uyghurs, as over 8,450 mosques have been demolished. These aren't just buildings, but the very heart of the Uyghur culture and religion. Now let's delve deeper into this. The destruction of these mosques is not merely a random act of violence. It's a calculated move to erase the cultural identity of the Uyghurs. And it doesn't stop there. The Uyghur language is being suppressed. Traditional practices are being outlawed, and Uyghur children are being taken away from their families to be re-educated. We're witnessing an attempt to erase an entire culture, an entire people, but the atrocities go beyond cultural erasure. Human rights organizations and independent journalists have reported on the horrific conditions in which the Uyghurs are living. Detention camps, forced labor, physical and psychological torture. These are the words that come up over and over again in these reports. It's a chilling reminder of some of the darkest chapters in human history. The evidence of the Uyghur genocide is overwhelming and irrefutable. Satellite images, leaked documents, and testimonies from escapees paint a horrifying picture of the scale and intensity of this crisis. It's a clear violation of human rights, an affront to our shared humanity. So, we must ask ourselves an important question. With all the evidence at hand, with the undeniable proof of these atrocities, why is the world, particularly the Muslim-majority countries, remaining silent? The evidence is clear, yet the Muslim-majority countries remain silent. Why? What could possibly justify this silence in the face of such atrocities? Well, there are a few factors which might clarify this deafening silence. We're going to delve into them. One of the most prominent reasons is economic interest. Many Muslim-majority countries have significant economic and diplomatic ties with China, and to criticize them could mean jeopardizing these relationships. China's influence extends beyond the borders of its own country, infiltrating the media and propaganda outlets of others. A narrative is spun, a narrative that conveniently overlooks the atrocities being committed. This manipulation of information plays a substantial role in shaping the response, or lack thereof, to the Uyghur genocide. And then there is the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, or the OIC. As the second largest intergovernmental organization after the United Nations, one would expect it to take a stand to defend the rights of Muslims, irrespective of where they are in the world. But intriguingly, the OIC has shown a disappointing indifference towards the Uyghur genocide. So, there you have it. Economic and diplomatic interests, influence through media and propaganda, and the indifference of significant organizations like the OIC. These are the factors that have led to a silence that is as profound as it is troubling. The silence is not without reasons, but do these reasons justify the complicity? This silence raises an ethical dilemma. How can we reconcile the deafening silence of Muslim-majority countries while their fellow Muslims in East Turkestan suffer? This quandary is not just about politics or economics, but about fundamental human rights. It's about the principles that the Muslim world holds dear. It's about solidarity, compassion, and justice. Yet, as the Uyghur genocide unfolds, these principles seem to be forgotten. The silence of the Muslim-majority countries on the Uyghur genocide is not just a silence, it's a complicity. It's time to break this silence.